If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest.
Hi everyone. So my name is Kumar. I have total 8+ years of experience only in ServiceNow. So you can tell that it's not only ServiceNow, it's on web applications. You can tell Java development, Python development, as well as any other tool. If you take the monitoring tool like Prometheus or the visualization tool as a Grafana. So any tool you tell, I have worked on that, mostly all the logics or different programming languages. Apart from that, this is a ServiceNow training. So anyone is having any doubt in between, ask them freely because it is ServiceNow. It is a lot of scope in future. So it's completely on you, and it is a money making tool, frankly speaking, to be financially speaking the truth. So you can tell, you can ask any doubts, whatever I would teach. Okay, so let's start about service now. Okay, what is service now and how it came, when it came? So first of all, remember one thing: ServiceNow was a ticketing tool, as Abu also told initially, that it is one type of ticketing tool. And you can tell that it came around 2004. And there is one person known as Fred Ludi. He was the first person, and he gathered few clients regarding the development of ServiceNow, or you can tell usage of ServiceNow, because that was commercial and that came into market to use about ServiceNow. Now, first thing we have to understand that how ServiceNow started and how evolution started in ServiceNow, not as the user's perspective, but as well as in the developer's point of view also. Because now the question is, okay, it has been more than 10 years, and this tool is still hyping a lot, as well as it is going giving a good productivity. So why we are using ServiceNow? There are other alternatives also. BMC Remedy is an alternative. Salesforce is an alternative. You can tell Sharewell is an alternative. These all the alternatives are there. But why about ServiceNow? Why it is growing like that in a very huge amount? That every organization, even though from mid-level to high level, as well as small scale industries, are also using ServiceNow nowadays because of its functionality. Why? Because there is a small story associated with that. This tool came in 2004, and it was a ticketing tool. Ticketing tool means, now suppose you are calling, or there is some issue in your iPhone. Okay, in that iPhone there is an issue. Now there could be an issue with the network, or there could be an issue with the handheld, or you can tell the handset which you are having. So you are not getting a network for a particular area. When you are going through, you are not getting a network. Maybe it could be an issue of your phone or either your SIM card. So what you would do, you would have a call, or you would call a call center, or a tech support, any person. Now after calling that, you get a response that, sir, give me 2 minutes. I am doing some type of troubleshooting, and after troubleshooting, let's see how we can move forward. Then they would do the troubleshooting. They would tell that, check once whether it is in this and this steps, or you have to go step by step, one by one. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Now what comes next is, you are telling, okay, maybe there could be a network issue, or the tower issue nearby, so that could be an issue. So what I am doing, I am logging a ticket for you. They would give you a ticket number for reference. Now, this ticket is valid for 3 days or 4 days. As tech support people, or they would tell that, okay, we would try to fix this issue anyhow from our end, whether it is physical, or any field agent goes physically and help him or her, or from sitting in from their center, they are helping. Now they would do their own troubleshooting, and that ticket is the only hope for you that my issue would be resolved. Okay. In 3 to 4 days, you reach out again. You would be telling that, see, this is an issue. First of all, if it is resolved, most of the people would not reach out. And if it is resolved, if it is not resolved, then they would come back. They would tell that, yeah, my issue, what's happening for my ticket? Is there anything which has been there? Then they would tell that these are the work notes I have written, even though we have sent a notification to you notification in the sense like an email to you as well as SMS, or any type of message in which you can be communicated that okay, your ticket is in this and this particular team or this troubleshooting is going on right now, and hopefully the process goes on. If it is fixed as well as if it is not fixed, everyone has its own process. So first of all, this is a ticketing tool. First, it was an old concept. At least for my perspective, it was a concept before 2015. This was the concept. Why? Because right now ServiceNow is a tool in which everything would be possible. It is something like a family package. You take a family package, every facility you would get it in ServiceNow. Now you tell that it is a ticketing tool, how we would get all these facilities. Facilities would be, I would make you count the modules. How many modules are present in ServiceNow? First of all, ITSM. ITSM means if you are learning English, if you are learning any language in this whole world, you need to start with the alphabets. Alphabets to words, words to sentence formation to an essays. So in ServiceNow, if you want to make a career in any one of the particular domains, then you have to understand from where it started. As in developer's point of perspective, the alphabets of this whole service now has been created through ITSM. ITSM is a base tool. Base tool means in that incident would come, problem would come, change would come, request as well as knowledge management. Even though you can tell service portal would come, in which when you visit a particular website which is in a form of a service now, there you raise a ticket. Okay, there you raise a ticket or there you raise a request that I need a new laptop, I need this credentials, I am the new user, I need this functionalities in, or this software needs to be installed. For that you need to raise a request. Okay, so these are the basic things which are a part of ITSM. In ITSM you can tell by default. By default means here we use by default as out of the box. And many times when ServiceNow developers would convey you or tell you that have you checked out of the box functionality. Out of the box functionality means the default functionality which ServiceNow is already providing in a ServiceNow instance. Got it? So this is an ITSM first module. Second module is CMDB. CMDB is for the database. It is for the database. If you want to maintain a database, now first of all you have to also understand that in ServiceNow what ServiceNow is. ServiceNow is nothing. It is a tool. You can also create your own tools. That's not at all an issue. But the basic fundamental of ServiceNow is also it is a form and it consists of a tables having rows and columns. It's as simple as that. Technically speaking about ServiceNow, it is a tool which consists of forms and containing tables and rows in a form of a database. Here tables are present. Whole ServiceNow is working on particular tables. Again, I am repeating one more time. ITSM is the base module, and in that different modules are there like change management, incident management, request management, knowledge management, and problem management. If you learn these things, even though it is not necessary to work on all the things, if you worked on any two tools, this means that you are certified as an ITSM developer. Why you are certified? Because you know the core concepts, how the service now performs. Because to become a developer you have to only understand few scripting concepts and how I can debug the things, or how I can, it is something like a toy you play. You need, if you solve two puzzles, you are confident enough to solve other 10 puzzles also. So this is an ITSM. Another is CMDB to maintain the databases. Another one is GRC, governance, risk and compliance. Governance, risk and compliance, it is used for, like I am creating a policy in your company. Have you ever thought about it that who has created this policy? One of the famous policies you would be knowing that POSH, POSH, POSH. And you can simplify it and tell that it is for the sexual harassments in a company. that if some misbehave or something is happening, so this type of you can tell this is the policy which is present. But have you ever thought from where it came, this this particular law? Because there this could be an issue, correct, that some that maybe in small organization this law is not there, but in bigger organization this would be there, but it is there in all the organizations. It came, this is also having a different connection in GRC, but this laws, regulations, security, this comes from GRC. This is the third module.
Hey,
Fourth.
Kumar,
Mhm.
for me, your presentation stuck on the disclaimer page, on the disclaimer slide. I'm not sure if you're going through slides or not.
No, I would go.
Oh, okay.
I would go.
Okay. Just making sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So that is for the GRC. The fourth module comes into the picture is for IT operations management, which is called as an ITOM. In the ITOM, what it happens is, now suppose I want to set up a server. You have an in a company, this is a new project which is coming up. I need to set up a server. At that point of time, I need to use ITOM, or I want to give an architectural view. I want to create an architecture at the backend. Then at that point of time, I would use ITOM. Okay, this is the fourth module. Fifth module is HRSD. It is for human resource. You can tell onboarding, offboarding, any type of process is there which you can handle or HR can handle. They have, they have the different module HR. So what till now ITSM, CMDB, GRC, security operations, IT operations management, and this is HRSD. Now CSM. CSM is customer service management. In customer service management, what happens is that now suppose some of the end user is sending a mail to ServiceNow. See, this is not working from 2 days or 1 day or from half an hour. This is not working. I'm dropping a mail to the help desk. A ticket would be created and a reply would automatically come that this is the ticket number and this much is the SLA, service level agreement, and in this time it would be resolved. Simple as that. This is the concept. If you want to go in a chatbot, you type something. When you type something, what comes up? Somebody, it is not the person who is setting. If a person would be there, then you can imagine that how much human power it would be. And at least in service now, this is not the case, because it is an automation tool at the end of the day. So you can add in the definition that it is an automation tool in which it consists of the forms and the tables which would be represented in a form of an rows and columns. Simple. Now these are the different modules I have showed. So with every module has its own capability. Every module has its own capability and it works with a, you can tell there are plugins are there. There are different plugins and all are chargeable. It is not free. It is free for your PDI, which is called as a personal development instance. Today we would also see that how to request a PDI, or if anybody wants to share a screen, then I can also guide them how to raise a request, or you can tell how to raise up, how to get an access of a PDI, personal development instance. Then these are, if you would see the slide, what are the topics which are there? What is ServiceNow? Key benefits of ServiceNow, modern service priorities, how to use ServiceNow and who uses ServiceNow. First of all, we would see, and one more thing which is very much important in this whole ServiceNow is why ServiceNow came into picture, because of the hype of internet. If internet is not there, cloud would not come. No cloud platforms would come. Why? Because we have seen, we have personally seen that ServiceNow used to come in the CDs. It used to come in the CDs. People used to install it by putting in their drive and then they used to access it. It is something like a concept of an PaaS, platform as a service. That also we would see that what is SaaS and what is PaaS, platform as a service and software as a service. Or you can tell ServiceNow is a combination of both. And ServiceNow is so much successful. Why it is so much successful? Because of it is a cloud platform. And one more success point would be there for ServiceNow is that the UI is better than other tools. The UI is better than other tools. Why? Because I have used BMC Remedy, but I think so the UI of ServiceNow is pretty much better. Now, one more thing you have to think that, like in ServiceNow, recently which version it is going on? For it is Tokyo, and companies always use N-1 version. Most of the companies use N-1 version. N-1 means which is the latest, you can tell, version of ServiceNow, which is Tokyo -1, which would be the San Diego version. Because what happens now, suppose you are stuck in an issue and you are working in Tokyo, nobody knows it except ServiceNow. You raise a high portal ticket, fix it. Many times they are also unable to fix it. They would tell that the fix would come in next release. So at that point of time, it's better to take a precaution and go for one version below every time. And there is also an upgradation process. Why? Because this upgradation process also tell why I'm telling or pointing out this point. You have to understand in this, you all people, that people who have worked in different tools before, but why they are choosing now ServiceNow. You would see many of the clients, they would be telling that I was working in BMC Remedy or my company was there in BMC Remedy. Now they are upgrading it to ServiceNow, because that is also something, a different process which goes on. And for that we have to understand what is the concept, why they are upgrading to these tools, because mainly for the architecture as well as for the user experiences or the plugins or the functionality which they give in ServiceNow, because of that. And if you would see BMC Remedy, it is very dull tool, means especially for the developers. If you would see, it is very primitive type of tool is there that people would not like. And even though the lovers who are of UI UX, they would not at all like that particular tool. And why BMC Remedy? Because there was only one competition for ServiceNow before, and one competition was only BMC Remedy. Still people are using, but why that platform failed? That is the major question, and that is fixed in ServiceNow, because they have not upgraded their platform for a longer period of time. If you are not upgrading, you would be out market. That is obvious. If you are sticking to a primitive technology, yeah, for sure. Be ready for 5 or 10 years to lose your jobs, because that is the only way. Technology is expanding. We have to upgrade it accordingly to that. So here you can see one of the systematic definitions that ServiceNow is one of the rare platforms that can show a rapid return on investment and continue to deliver strong values, and organization expands its use. Then now automation. You can see here what are the key benefits of ServiceNow. First benefit is architectural benefit. Now you would be thinking that from 10 minutes I am telling one thing only. What is architecture, architecture, architecture? But the architecture is streamlining the process. Why we need architects? They would tell you the best suggestion that this would, if we would implement this, this would be the end result, and the productivity would be also more. So for that, for architecture purpose, it enhances the tools. And ServiceNow is one of the major examples that we can provide our own architecture in that. And even though ServiceNow also supports for few or some amount of time, when we buy a particular ServiceNow instance, they support for a longer period of, means approximately I have seen 6 months. They support with full dedication, with one or two resources completely dedicated on that particular project, so that they can also cross skill and they can give their own suggestions that how it can be improved. That only it has been written into a business language. What are the key benefits of ServiceNow? And one more benefit is there. You can't tell it's a benefit, but you can tell nowadays it is present in everywhere. Even though if you use Python, if you use Java, if you use PHP, any language or any tool, one point would be common for everyone. That is the integrations. That you can do lot of integrations. As per my knowledge, I have done Azure ID integration, SailPoint integration, then Microsoft Office integration, SharePoint integration, then CMDB, SAP Cosmos integration. These are all integrations which I have done, and it is very easy to use in ServiceNow. Just you need a little bit knowledge about scripting and your concepts. If your ITSM concepts are clear, you can do any integration with any of the modules. Not at all an issue. Now, what are the priorities? ServiceNow focuses on accelerating and the speed of IT service delivery and experience. As I again told in a simpler language, I told before that of course the delivery, because there are a lot of factors in ServiceNow in which we can mark or we can track the productivity of a particular person. So that if we give the productivity, then only the efficiency of a company would increase with the tool, because tool would also get upgraded with the time. And the second point you can see is ServiceNow offers users a low friction experience. Yes, good UI UX, obvious, because it is not rigid. It is you can tell it is having a smooth experience. Like Amazon, if you are scrolling in Amazon, forms or catalogs would come in similar type, not exactly I would tell 100%, but at least 30-40% of that is similar, like the catalogs or the items or whatever your need is there, you can customize it. Now, as I told, there are different modules are there, so you can tell GRC is there, service portfolio management is there, software asset management. I have not told about the asset management, but in your company the laptops are there, or you can tell mouse is there or a headset is there. The technical term in service now, it is called as an consumables. If you are now software as here it is written software asset management, which is SAM, and there is one module which is called as an ITAM. We don't call it SAM separately, we call it as ITAM. ITAM means IT asset management. In that, it is divided into two parts. One is called as an hardware asset management, and another one is software asset management. Hardware asset management means how many people are using how many assets, how many laptops, how many mouse, how many small devices they are using. Everything has been tracked in HAM, hardware asset management. Similarly, if you go to SAM, how many softwares you are using, what is the expiration date of that particular software, when it got renewed, how to put using the different or the third party tool to your application or to your machine. All these things or all these details would be coming under SAM. So SAM and HAM makes one particular module, which is ITAM. And no need to remember this, that GRC is there, SAM is there, HAM is there, and all this. Why? Because service now is having so many modules that if you would work 20 years also, the modules would not finish. Why it is not finished? Because recently I have seen one example, or you can tell service now is creating a monopoly for that. But you can tell, yeah, it is a monopoly which they are creating now. They are creating, like, now suppose you purchase GRC, your governance, risk and compliance, and it is a very costly plugin. The cheap plugins are GRC Archer and GRC SAP GRC. It is comparatively cheaper than GRC. Now, recently in COVID, they have created one application with USA, and especially with one of the health department they created. Now, what they are doing, they are taking ideas from other people, they are creating their own module, they are charging it, and they are providing it to other people, and they are telling, see, this is our product. If you want to buy, you would get this functionalities. Even though 10 clients would buy that functionalities, then also they are in profitable situation. So, because why I am telling you should means understand what I am trying to tell is that first I told about GRC, then I told that one of the application they have created, and they have told that, see, this is the product which we are creating. It is in a business point of perspective. If in a technical point of perspective, you can create your own. You can customize your own ITSM instance and create an application, and the best example is the custom applications. But what is the need for doing this? It is something like a business perspective. See, now we are open, give our thoughts. What's your requirement? Give us. For you, we would create a special plugin. You install it, use it. We have been nothing. No effort would be needed from your end. So what I am doing, I am taking a contract, making an application, deploying it in a form of a plugin, directly delivering it to the specific customers, not to all the customers, and you use it in a plugin. So this is one of the monopolies which ServiceNow is using nowadays. So here also you can see in the ServiceNow also offers security operations, CSM, customer service management, human resource, which is called as an HRSD. So there are different you can tell plugins would be there, and everything is chargeable. Remember one thing in service now, even though you are customizing one thing, customization in the sense like, suppose your first name is there, your last name is there, and your department is there. Now you want to put one more field in a table. Right now you would not be understanding, but get a high overall concept. Even though if you are putting one extra field, that would be also chargeable by service now. That thing, that small customization would be also chargeable, and now they have their different plans how to maintain that. So you can see that here also I have covered the same thing, that it is completely, you can tell lot of parameters are there in service now which backs up to become as a number one tool in the market right now comparatively to Salesforce also. So these are the few and one more important thing in this provides workflows. This provide workflows also. Workflows means, now suppose you want to create your own process. First of all, some default process would be going on. One small process I would tell you. Suppose you are requesting for a new access. You are a new employee in a company. You are telling your manager, where is my laptop and where is my access? He would tell that I would not do. You have to go into this URL. You have to open that particular form, fill that form. A request would come and then I would approve it. Or who would be the specific manager at that point of time initially, you would approve it. You would go to the form. You would raise a request for the new laptop as or you can tell for the new access or the credentials. Approval would go to whom? To your manager. First he would approve that. First he would check all the details, whether this guy has given all the details properly or not. If he has given all the details properly, then it would proceed further. Then it would create a catalog task, and your manager would not give you credentials. I am just taking as an example. Maybe no other organization they give directly, but he would not give you. He would tell that every day my 50 requests are coming, I cannot give 50 people one by one access. So what did they, after approving it, what it would happen, it would go, that particular ticket would go to a particular team. That team would work. Okay, he is the person, his manager has approved it, these are the credentials, this is correct, this is the email address, let me send his credentials to his personal email address. This is done, then he would log in with his credentials. Fine. This whole process starting from going to the service portal, raising a request, going for the approval to the manager. Manager would approve the request, goes to the other teams would verify and give you the password and the other credentials. How it is done? It is done using the workflows that you, a developer has given, some stakeholder or some architect has told, this is the workflow business needs for their process. You have to create a workflow. At that point of time, a developer would go at the back end, he would follow the process and whatever the requirements came from the higher level team, and he would create a workflow. One more thing which makes a service now special is service portal. Service portal, I've seen a lot of service portals in which lot of customizations are done. Even though if you would first see that how ServiceNow looks like as a service portal, you can't identify it is a website like an open source website, or it is a ServiceNow, because ServiceNow is licensed one. You cannot differentiate at all. But yes, there is also one more point comes into picture is the more customization you do, the instance would become more slow. You do lot of customizations, that's not at all an issue, but service now tells that if you don't follow our process, then don't blame us later on that your instance becomes slow. Then we can't do anything, then it's your headache, you have to figure it out, because service now already tells from first, this is the process, this is how we need to go. If you come out of the process, or if you try to implement big things without purchasing any plugins from them, then it would be an issue for longer period of time. And even though there are few functionalities which came into picture like virtual agent, service portal already I mentioned, virtual agent is also there. Virtual agent is nothing but it is called as a chatbot. Now who uses service now? Service now is used by every person. ServiceNow is used by every person, even though I can tell that a staff boy who is making a coffee and who is sweeping on the floors to the VP of a company, everybody use ServiceNow. Now you tell I have never seen ServiceNow, any low person or a person, staff boy who uses ServiceNow. Then let me tell you an example. It is a real time example. There is a project of UAE. They are the oil companies. Now they have 30 to 40 floors. Now they have 30 to 40 floors. This doesn't means that how they would bring so much people for their work. So half of the building they have given for catering services. Catering services means big people, big celebrities, or these people would come and make a catering service inside service now. Or sorry, not service now, in a building. Now suppose a function is going on. At the site, somebody spilled some water or some drink. What would happen? They would take a photograph, they would upload in service portal using a tablet. A notification would go to the nearest staff boy. He would come to that particular place by seeing the location, and he would sweep the floor, and then he would go. So you can see that I have not talked about a very big level people. I have talked about the ground reality, how small person can also use service now in their daily life. Now it is the end user's perspective, and for sure developers use this, business users does you can tell use this particular tool, and they have an access called as an ITIL, because in this roles are also a factor. Support teams, this means that whenever you are having a issue, when you are calling someone, this means that either it is going to a call center or to a tech support team. Support teams. Admin, you can tell who does a little bit of work like adding groups, adding rules, or creating few forms. Or you can tell a type of subordinate for the developers. They are the admins. And the facilitator means anybody, even though the person who is bringing the requirement, this means that he is making use of service now, then only he brought the requirement. In every each level of your company, if they purchase service now, this means that they are supporting the complete company using service now. And it is already you can see that it is also a combination. I have counted the different modules like ITS, MGRC, security operations, HRSD, ITAM, IT asset of management, operations management, everything. So you can tell it is a combination of everything: automation application, human resource management, security management, customer service management, which is CSM, and business management. Business management, you can also come that business continuity management is also there, which is also a part of business management as well as security management. And business management is ITPM, IT business of management, in that APM and PPM would come. Portfolio project management, This is one of the famous modules, even though you can see in the other tools also, these two modules would be there, BPM and APM. So this is the combination of everything. Every functionality you can get it in ServiceNow. It is a one-stop shop. You come, buy everything, go, you get all the facilities. Now, what are the best practices of ServiceNow? Now, to automate the business tasks, that's fine. Of course, it is an automation tool, so it is used to automate the business tasks. To increase the customer engagement, if you deliver on time, the productivity would be more, the engagement would be more, the profit would increase. Simple. For collaboration perspective, you can replace the spreadsheets easily, yes, because you can tell that one more module is there that is called as an performance analytics. In that, completely everything related to this reports would come, reports, dashboards, who is the person is giving how much productivity, how much applications you are using, how much hardwares are registered, how much configuration items are there, how many users are present, how many active users are present. Every report it would give you in detail. So that is the best example to replace the spreadsheets. But if you tell no, I would get an interface of an Excel, you can't get it, boss. That's not possible. And that's not feasible. Till now, I have never seen, because nobody can replace Excel and Word at least. To improve the overall structure of the work environment and simulate the workflow, yeah, automation of the workflows. To create a friendly user environment in ServiceNow. If the UI UX is better, of course, it would create a friendly environment as well as engaging environment. The things which people would like, they would fall for it. So till now, any doubt, anything, or you have not understood, or you got confused in this, tell me, I would explain you.
No questions or anything right now.
Okay, perfect. I would also share, or let me check. Or anybody wants to share the screen, or they want to know how to request for ServiceNow instance, because what happens is, this is the theory. This is the theory which is going on, and maybe it could be boring. Frankly speaking, it could be boring. But the issue is, if anybody wants to know how to get an PDI, personal developer instance, in ServiceNow, you can get it. And I can help you in that. Anyone?
Do you have like a walkthrough for everyone, or we're gonna go off one person?
If you can share your screen, why? Because I have two instances. I don't have email IDs right now. Means I would show you how it actually looks like. Then you can decide. Means, of course, you have to get this PDIs. Yeah, see, this would be something like this. Still, one or two steps are there. This would be the login, admin, and username and password. It would be present. And this is the interface which you would be seeing. This is the interface. What you would be seeing is of Rome. Frankly speaking, it is of Rome, but San Diego is much more upgraded one. Functionality is exactly the same. There is not much difference in that. Only the difference is of UI UX. That is, many people like this interface, many people like San Diego interface. So now it completely depends on person's choice with which appearance he or she needs to go. So yeah, I means if anybody can share the screen, I can help him or her regarding this PDI access.
Mr. Abu, does somebody want to share their screen so we can step them through the steps?
Yes, but team, anybody willing to share the screen? And Kumar, another option that you can have is if you can walk us through, you know, how this is being carried out, where to go to check for the
Sure.
the downloads, what is the link for it? Yeah.
Thank you, Abu. Thank you, Abu. So when you say like the access, right? Do we need to use the corporate or enterprise dev server or dev service, or are you going to give a URL for that?
No, it is a cloud platform. If you have an internet, Google browser or any browser you have, and if you have an email ID in which you can confirm the OTP or confirm the verification, that's more than enough.
Got it.
And this is the developer instance which I have already shared in the chat, developer.servicenow.com.
Yeah, I can share. I need to close many other things.
Yes,
Ram, Marcial,
let's do that.
Yeah,
you can
I can.
volunteer.
I'll share.
Yeah, I'm trying to close all my other windows.
Yeah.
I know we are all on the same state, but yeah.
All
No,
right.
not
Here
a
we go.
problem. It
I'll
is.
share. I'll share. I'm sharing.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
okay. So I'm here. Can everyone see my screen?
Sign up, which is there on the left hand side. Yeah, sign up and start building.
Marcel,
do I
you can hide that session right now because it is asking for password and all those things. So
Okay.
you
Would I
can,
use my corporate email here?
Yeah, you
Kumar?
can use your corporate email.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna stop sharing for the moment and then I'll
Yeah,
share
sure.
again. Okay, so it looks like I've signed up now. So source ID has been created.
I think so. It would trigger an verification mail to your email ID, so you can check once.
All right, I did receive it. Now I'm going to be logging in.
Yeah, not an issue. Take your time.
All right, so once I signed in, this is a landing page.
Perfect. Do you code? Yes. I need a developer oriented ID. Next. Select all, as well as it's optional. So no, first sign the agreement and then finish setup. Perfect. Request instance. It would take a little bit of time setting up instance. And one more catch is there in ServiceNow, that if you don't log in for 10 days, your instance would expire and it would go off. Means you would not be able to access your instance. Later on, again, you have to request a new instance and then you have to start working. So it should not be ideal continuously. It should not be ideal for 10 days. If it is, then a particular instance would go.
Okay, looks like the instance is set up.
Perfect. Click on start building. Click on next, or either you can cross it. That's not at all an issue. Perfect. This is what? This is a Tokyo as well as San Diego instance. Means it is one instance only, but the UI UX which you are seeing right now, it is of San Diego as well as of Tokyo. This is how it looks like. Now you would think that, now where is the navigation bar? Correct? Because in my instance, I showed you, there was a navigation bar on the left hand side. So you also need a navigation bar. So click on all. See, this is the navigation bar pin all menus. Now this navigation bar would be there for always. Means it would not go. It would go if you unpin that, but this functionality is not there in this one. You can tell lower versions, London, New York, Quebec, Rome. These functionalities are not there. So this is one of the functionality, and this is how it looks. ServiceNow looks like that. There is a navigation bar at the top. It is called as an header. In that header, favorites, history, workspaces, admin is there. There is a search is there. Now, if you click on the icon which is present on the right hand side, one person's face is there. This is use system administrator, profile preferences, impersonate user, elevate roles, and log out. This is how it actually looks like. You don't have to log out, keep it login only, and it would end the session after some time. Means if you would be ideal for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, it would log you out, or it would session would get expired. So this is how service now looks like. Got it?
All right, do I stop sharing my screen now?
Yeah. Till now, any questions? Or if everybody is doing or requesting an instance, you can also inform me.
Yeah, I was able to do the same thing. I did the same thing as Marcial did as he was doing it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I also got it.
Yep, I was able to do it too.
Okay, then what we can do, we can move forward. Now, what is SaaS? SaaS means software as a service. Software as a service, you can tell, as well as I have told you previously also in few lines, that it is a combination of both SaaS as well as PaaS. SaaS means software as a service, means it is completely open. Now, whatever you want to do or whatever you want to do on the cloud or store any file or do any of the functionalities, these all things you can do there in the SaaS, even though you can do it in the PaaS. But the best thing about SaaS is it is not dependent on the platform. It is independent, platform independent it is. Now you can tell that software as a service, you can get it from an internet. You can install that application from the internet and all the modules would be installed into ServiceNow as a package. And you can tell from when the internet became more prevalent in the different countries, from that time only this concept came, which is called as in SaaS. Now, SaaS is also have a multiple architecture. One is the multi-tenant architecture, in which all users are using the single application. So that is called as a multi-tenant architecture. That one application is there, multiple users are there. That is called as a multi-tenant architecture, and it is comparatively faster. Now, now you can also tell that how you can judge that SaaS is faster comparatively to PaaS. This could be an issue. Now, the very logical or very common issue you can tell that, suppose my internet is slow, how you can tell at that point of time that SaaS is faster comparatively to PaaS? No, that is obvious. We cannot tell. It depends completely on the internet speed. Even though you would experience in your PDI, the better internet is there, much faster the page loads. And not always on the, depending on the internet only. We cannot blame always the internet. Why? Because out of the box, it would open fast. Whatever ServiceNow has given, it would open fast. The performance would be much better. If you want to put more weight on that ServiceNow instance, putting lot of customizations in the sense like in one module only you are doing the customization. It is nothing like you are installing 10 plugins. Because of that 10 plugins, my internet or not my internet, my ServiceNow instance became slow. No, it would not be the reason any day. The reason would be only the customization. If you're taking an ITSM module, basic module, you want to put all the features in that. You want to put all, because many people in their businesses, what they do to save money, or to save the cost of CSM, of HRSD or anything, They try to make the own process of ITSM only. They are telling we don't know this, we don't want this HRSD module. I would create onboarding and offboarding process in catalogs or in record producers only. Yeah, you can do up to such extent, up to some extent, but later on it would cause an issue. Customizations are easier, and you can't tell almost all the customizations. Now it completely depends on the business requirements, that whatever the business requirements, if the business requirements is pretty simple for customization, then it's fine. Now we have to also take care of one thing here. We have to also take care of one thing here. Hello, any question?
No, we are fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So SaaS is an SaaS is and the risk is less comparatively. If you tell in service now, it provides a security, a proper security. And why proper security? That is obvious. If anything related to the business, it would provide a security, or else who would use this particular tool? Because there are other alternatives are also there. If it is not able to provide the security, nobody would use it. And one point also to keep in mind, always keep in mind one thing about ServiceNow. If anybody asks ServiceNow, you can right now at this point of time in 2022, you can tell that it is an automation tool, automation as well as architectural tool, which supports the complete business in your company. Better access you have already seen. How to get an access, it's very easy. Similarly in companies also, into their day-to-day life, how they give an access, it's very simple. Because previously few years before, it was a lot of process, this and that was present. Nowadays it's very easy. Why? Because they create an email address inside ServiceNow. After going into ServiceNow, they go to an user table. There is called as an sys user table. This also I would tell you how it actually looks like. I hope everybody can see my screen. So these are the SaaS characteristics, and we have taken one example as ServiceNow, and we have seen that all the privileges, monitor the data, as well as giving the information, dynamically providing the information, providing all the facilities, that is done in the service, that is done in SaaS. And that is not, I'm not telling that these functionalities are not provided in PaaS. PaaS also provides. PaaS has also all the capabilities of doing it. But there is one basic difference in between all of them, is that it works on an internet. It doesn't works on an internet. If it works on an internet, it is a cloud platform. We have lot more functionalities in them. And PaaS is platform as a service. So you can also see the hierarchy as a service option include infrastructure as a service. Here the provider hosts hardware, software, storage, means a type of a server. This is also present in ServiceNow server. Even though I have seen the other application, which is a BMC remedy and one of the HP, they are also using one of the tools. It is similar to the BMC remedy, but it is not properly, or you can tell it is not complete BMC remedy, which you can tell. There also I have seen that servers have been set up. Server needs to communicate to one of the other servers. Then the ticketing tool would open up. After getting open up, you need to fill the details, log the tickets. But in that process also sometimes what happens, it fails. Why it fails? Because it is practically connecting to some physical server somewhere. Now what is the benefits of SaaS? Low setup and infrastructure cost, means you, if you have an internet, if you have few many things, your hardware cost is saved. If to access service now, you can also access it using mobile applications, using your Chromebooks. Even though the low configuration laptops can also be you can also access service now. Scalability is more. As well as security, you can tell security is higher nowadays. Frankly speaking, security is higher nowadays because it is in a, it is open, or you can tell it is in on internet. So for security, recently in 1 or 2 years, they have provided the another application or another tool which is for the security operations, SecOps, which we tell, and we can access from anywhere. Access from means any of the any ServiceNow link if it is open. If in many of the companies it is open, any laptop you would put that particular URL, it would open that ServiceNow instance. As well as the important point in ServiceNow is the SLAs, which is called as in service level agreement. What is service level agreement? I think so you all know service level agreement, but there are also three type of SLAs you can tell, or the agreements it would be there. One is called as an SLA, another one is called as an OLA, which is called as an operation level agreement, and the third one is called as an underpinning contract. This is also one of the most important chapters in service. Now later on it would come, later on in the later perspective it would come, and it helps you only, you and your company, both of them, and especially to the customers. Now suppose you logged a ticket for some issue of your mobile or your SIM card. This person told that okay, I would help you out. Suppose you called, you logged a ticket, and nobody responded only after 10 days or 15 days. So what would happen? They would simply tell that no, your issue has not been resolved. But that is not the case. Why they need to work on that ticket? Because revenue is getting generated from that ticket. Suppose I am giving you a project, or any customer is giving you a project. He is telling, see, this is my 15 minutes uh, resolution time or response time. 15 minutes is the response time. Response time means whenever the ticket comes. Now nobody is assigned on that ticket. Who would take the credibility of that ticket? It cannot be open. It cannot be open ended. So for that response, if you don't take, or if you don't give a response, or if you don't align a particular agent on that ticket for that 15 minutes, then you would be charged some charges, or whatever it has been dealt among the organizations, they would do. Suppose $100 ticket is there. If you don't respond, $50 you have to give to me, or I would deduct $50 in that. In 20 minutes, if it is not resolved, then I would deduct $70 for that. Now it happens in this manner. This is the vague example of dollars. It's not 100 or $50. Maybe the prices varies, even though it can go to 200, $300 per ticket. And we know that why ServiceNow SaaS cloud platform, it is one of the best tools right now, because it provides all the functional. Whatever you tell, there is a point from ServiceNow that we provide better than this company or better than this vendor. That they provide workflows, they provide management, they provide security, they provide rules and regulations, they provide architecture, everything they provide. And here means robust data management is means like data collection. And one thing to take a point is that data collection. Now I am telling data collection for sure. If you would use PaaS or SaaS, for sure it would be a data collection only, or because everything works on a table. A form is there, table is there, any application you can make. Even though you can make an open source, you can make a licensed one. It consists of only two combinations, form and database. So similarly for data collection, data storage, application development, and specifically in ServiceNow for data storage, there is called as in CMDB. And you can also share amount of datas in the public with the security, as well as with the security. Means the security would be given. There are different algorithms are present for the password conversions. Now, one more thing is there. Now, if you go for an open source application, you put a password. It's something very hard for a developer to do it. Similarly, these all functionalities, we would think that this is such a small functionality, a password. If I want to encrypt the password, if you go for an open source and see the tools, developers need to do a lot of hard work in that point also. Why? Because there is some logic is there, some algorithms we need to put MD5, or this or that algorithm needs to be presented, or this combination needs to be there. These all things would be there because there is a risk. There is a risk always involved with the tool. So to provide that security, who would provide the security? Of course, the developers would provide the security by doing a development at the back end. But if you go for service now, they have taken care for this. Means you don't have to put an extra effort for small details. You can create an application. And one more thing, which is very much important in service now. Like I told, service now is this, service now that it is generating this revenues, that revenues, so many modules are there for everything. But the best thing is now it's a time for applications. Everybody wants to use any of the applications with ease in their mobile phones. Nobody wants to sit on the laptop and do the things. So we have a mobile applications also. Mobile application is present. Already it is also free in service now. If you have the credentials of your company with service of a ServiceNow instance, you can easily log in from your mobile and you are ready to go. Better visibility, as I told, for the third party applications and integration hub. As I have seen, you can see the second point. I would read it so that your concept would be also clear later on. The integration hub concept was developed to make it easy to integrate with other popular enterprise applications such as SAP, Dynatrace, Okta, and more. Okay. And ServiceNow also offers a flow designer module to automate the integration development process with less coding efforts. Okay, fine. These are very good points. When I'm listening, this is giving relief to my ears, but it would not give relief in the development. Why? Because there is a concept in this that flow designer is there. Okay, flow designer. Flow designer came as an alternative of workflows. As an alternative of workflows. Workflows are used from when? From ServiceNow when it was built. And still it is effective. Still it is effective. And there is no issue in that. But now the issue, one point which came into picture, or this also doesn't need to be considered. But ServiceNow, as I told, it has its own monopoly and they want to create it as an automation tool later on. So what they have told, you don't have to write a code at all. Fine, let it be. Remove coding, remove scripting. I would give you one tool for automation, which is a flow designer. Okay, flow designer came, not a problem. Flow designer is for the automation process. The automation process, which I have told you earlier. Earlier means you go to the form, fill the form, approval would go to the manager, manager would approve, go to a particular team, they would work and close the particular ticket. This is a complete process. How you would create that? You can create this whole process by only two ways in ServiceNow, either by using a workflow or either by using a flow designer. Workflow was a functionality which came long back and still it has been used. But ServiceNow told that it is a new tool. A flow designer is a new tool. You use new tool and you have to use it. Businesses ask that why I need to use it. Already from 10 years I am using workflows. Then they told, okay, fine, no, don't use it. You can make use of flow design workflows. But someday you'd stuck because, of course, in your team, if you are stuck, you would ask your senior, or if, your architect, or if he doesn't know, he would ask some other person. And if everybody is stuck and the dead end came, what do you would do next? Issue comes. You would go to ServiceNow. you would raise a high portal ticket. You would tell ServiceNow, please help me out. I have paid you money. Now you have to help me out. They would simply tell, no, this is not my issue. We already told you from first. Don't use workflows. Nowadays, Flow Designer came. Now, if you can do it, if you can fix it, do it. But we are not responsible for it. And they would tell you bluntly, and you don't have any choice on that because they are telling we would not support on workflows. Now we are supporting only on Flow Designers. And like this, Flow Designer came and only differences of coding. There, little bit of scripting is needed. Here, no scripting is needed. Completely drag and drop process is there. Now, I told about Flow Designer. Now, then, from where Integration Hub came? Integration Hub is a part of Flow Designer only. Flow Designer comes for free in ServiceNow. But if you want to make use of an integration hub, you have to purchase that tool separately. If you don't purchase that tool, you cannot do integration using Flow Designer. Flow Designer is free, but to do integration using a Flow Designer, which is called as an integration hub, that is not free. That you have to purchase. So that is one of the way of integration. And another primitive way, we all know that there are inbound integration, outbound integration, bidirectional integration, scripted REST API. These are the different jargons which I am using right now. But later on, I would give an overview of integrations also, how it actually works. But 2 points I made clear. Flow Designer is there, less coding is needed comparative to workflows, and right now it is a new product, came 2 versions before, approximately from New York. Yeah, from New York it came, and from New York when it came, from then people, or you can tell businesses, started shifting. And to use the integration hub, it is a part of a Flow Designer. If you want to use an integration hub, buy a license, and then only you can do an integration using Flow Designer. Else you don't have any other way. Go for the go for the another little bit hard, or you can tell a time consuming way. Go and write a script, work on it. Now, what are integration features? Integration features means you point any tool, any type of integration would be possible. If you would call for Jenkins, it is for DevOps. If you call for SAP, it is for configuration items, which I have done. I am telling. If you go for operations, there is IBM and Cisco. If you want to go for ticketing, it is Freshworks. If you want to go integrate with another IT service management tool, then it is BMC Remedy and Salesforce. If you want to do an authentication means right now when you open or when you requested a new instance, what you have done? You have just clicked on request instance and you have clicked on login. You are you are in that. Now suppose I am telling, no, I don't believe people having this email IDs and password. I want to put one more security while login. I want to put a captcha, or I want to do some type of verification. That also we can do using the integrations. So integrations are nothing but different tools are there to connect with them. We are using integration with ServiceNow. Now there is also a licensing uh, for our ServiceNow, as ServiceNow is a SaaS application, software as a license. For sure, there would be some license, and that completely depends on the businesses, that how they purchase and what are the functionalities they provide. Because I have seen many projects, and it completely depends on the budget. The more budget you have, the more functionalities. Even though if you would be having a big budget, ServiceNow would help you in customizations. In small and medium scale projects, they would never help, but in larger amount of projects, they would come and help you out also. Software, in the software license management, what are the rules? It is SAM underscore integrator, and there are different tools are, you can tell there are different tables are there. Now you can see here product profile type. If you see on the first point, SAMP, SW product profile type, SaaS script root, SaaS consumption summary, subscription usage. These are what? These are nothing but this comes under the SAM module, software asset management, and these are all the backend tables. Backend tables means, let me tell you what are the backend tables. Now suppose somebody told you you need to open an incident table. How you would do that? Incident, create new, all done. This is the incident record, new record. If you want to create a new incident, don't focus on this point, means first two messages, this is an info message or this is an info message or this type of decorations or making mandatory, because I was teaching others at that point of time. I have done some customization in this. But suppose if you want to open an incident, you would open from here, or you would open to see all the incidents from here. This means that this comes here in this module. This is an incident, you have written incident. Now the issue is, now you have 10 modules which are installed in your machine and you are a ServiceNow developer. You have 10 to 15 tasks on your head. At that point of time, you would not waste here to see this incident and then you would scroll where the incident is coming, let me check. No, that is not possible. Practically that is not possible because you have a deadlines to deliver. At that point of time, what you would do, there are few names are there, that also I would write and give it to you separately. Incident.list. It has opened the incident table. Suppose I want to open the request, sc underscore req underscore item dot list. See, all the requests came, all the requested items came here. Suppose I want to open a problem. See, all the problem records came. Suppose I want to see all users. See, all the users came here. Now you would also think how I would get to know. This person knows, or he is already working in ServiceNow, so he knows that, so he is typing quickly. First of all, you have to keep in mind, or you have to focus on the URL, how the URL is changing. Here what it is, first of all, this is my dev instance ID, dev110569.service-now.com. Okay. /sys underscore user underscore list dot do. So what the backend name of this user table? Sys underscore user. Now go for incident. See the URL. Backend name is incident. Problem. See, the backend name of the problem is problem. Other table. Suppose flow. I was talking about the flow designer. That is also stored in some table. Sys hub flow dot list. See, all the flow designers are also stored in the table. Means every single record, either you are inserting the record, you are deleting the record, or you are doing anything, everything would be recorded and everything would be there inside ServiceNow instance. Now why I showed these things? This is the backend names that I would give you in written. so that you can learn it and you can make it in a practice, that whenever I would means every day 10 minutes 15 minutes you can make it in a practice, that this things if I would write, this table would open, this is the use of this table, or these are the things which are stored in this table in this particular format. So that would make your life easy, or else you have to scroll down the things, you have to check in the navigation bar where it is, and it would take time, and that's completely on the developer's wish how he or she wants to go further. So these are the different tables of SAM. SAM is the module which is called as in software asset management, and these are the backend names. SAMP underscore SW underscore product underscore profile underscore type. Similarly, we have seen for requested item, SC underscore REQ underscore item dot list. Similarly, for change request, if you want to open the change request, the backend name would be change underscore request dot list. Here dot list is not there. Dot list means open a list view, and dot form means open a form view. That also I would show you. If you go to the ServiceNow instance, come here, sys, give me a minute, sys underscore user dot form. See, directly it opened a form. Now let me open a list. Sys user dot list. See, it opened a list, and here it opened a form. So that's the difference between a list and a form. How to use a here in ServiceNow. Now software, and we know that it is not new. Now everybody is using, even though different tools are using. Sharewell is also using cloud platform. Salesforce is also using cloud platform. Everybody is using cloud platform because this model is only called as in software as a service. There are different licenses which are involved. If you would see, or if you would read the lines in the software model, subscription pricing, the natural choice, and that comes obviously, at least in service, I know pricing and all this. I cannot tell about the BMC Remedy and other tools, Sharewell or Salesforce, but it is there in ServiceNow. And the good part about this is, now you took a contract. You took a contract. ServiceNow took a contract from your company. They are telling, okay, for 2 years, we would be supporting our personal support. We would be giving our personal support. And after that, until and unless your instance is there, these are the packages, or these are the functionalities in which we can give you the support. So there are also packages, maintenance are there, support are there, different updates are there. Because what happens, in many companies, they hire specially developers who can do an upgrade. Upgrade means, now a very simple example, like in your phone, iPhone. I don't know about iPhone, what's the upgrade, but in Android and all this, an update comes in every 6 months. You click on that update, your UI, UX, and some of the functionalities would enhance. Similarly, in service, now in every 6 months, one version comes, and it is a consistent, that in every 6 months or in every 7 or 8 months, one version would come. That version, what some extra functionalities it has been added, and something more got modified than the previous one. Apart from that, if you are using 2 instances old also, that would also not affect much if your instance, service now instance, is well maintained, or your ITSM is well maintained. Anything anybody need to ask regarding service now, what they, if they have not understood anything, if they have some confusions about the concept, or about service now, you can ask me.
Team, if you have any questions, please ask, or if there are more clarification needed or confused, call that out as well.
If you are confused also, you can tell me, because it happens. You are learning a new tool, mistake happens. Or people can't understand, because though it looks simple, but the complexities are a lot. Anything, any issue? Nothing? Or should we continue? Should I continue further, or is it enough for today?
Yeah, I think
Maybe we can,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, only the concept maybe looks good, at least that now. Only one question is that now this you said that SaaS as well as the platform oriented also, right?
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, ServiceNow is both. Actually, what happened? Service in PaaS, what happens? You can create your own custom applications. Okay, you can modify your own things. Whatever the functionalities you want, you can tell the developer, they would modify the things. But now what happens in SaaS also, the best example is the custom applications. No need to no need to take a plugin. Directly create a scoped application. Create an application, it would be workable. Even though you can you can create a mobile application in your ServiceNow instance, that would be also accessible in your mobile phones. Making a customization or making a custom app, or breaking the process, that was a part of a pass, which this concept also they have taken. Anything else?
Yeah.
So is it should we end, or do you want to go to the more technical concepts for today?
I think
I
technical
think,
concept, yeah, we can take it up in the next class.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
move to the next class.
Okay, not a problem. So if any doubt or anything is there, you can ask me in the next class. I would be there. I would be helping you out for this.
We are good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comments